So a lot of what I do is work with people to better understand themselves, to understand who they really are in that. And it's easy to get into the pattern of either, it's not always dishonesty, but it's steering people towards a certain version of ourselves. Social media is pretty rough on this for people. It kind of steers people towards presenting a certain aspect of ourselves or only a certain part of our life or that kind of thing. And it's easy when we meet people to steer them towards a fabricated version of ourselves. That's a healthy version of it. Sometimes people will get into the pattern of lying or that kind of thing, of like, don't look at me, look at this shiny version of myself. Or another version of it is people don't necessarily know who they are, and so they create this certain version of themselves. My belief is someone can go through life and be totally honest, and not that people don't struggle with that from time to time, but ultimately I think we can always share about ourselves. And I started really thinking about this concept when I worked in rehab centers, and families would often come, and I always use the name Johnny. So Johnny's in Utah in rehab, but grandma's calling and asking where Johnny is. And so there's like, should we tell him he's in Kansas or he's school here? And my recommendation would be like, I don't think you should lie about that. But you determine how far you go into that story. So it could be one ring in, or one part of it towards the truth is Johnny's in Utah working on himself. Closer line in, you might tell this with people you want to get more personal. Yeah, Johnny had to go to rehab. He's working on some things. You don't have to go into the very center of that to be truthful, but you can come in through certain parts of that and certain depths into it and still be honest. Same with when you're getting to know people. You don't have to go straight to the very core of who you are, but you can come in at different degrees, and then that way you can still be honest yet not steer them towards a different part of you that's not true. A cool thing when we do that is we connect more with who we are, we connect more with our ego, we gain more ego strength and just feeling more comfortable with who we are. And the byproduct of that is more confidence. When we steer people towards other things, it often makes us feel better in the moment, but then it's easy to be like, why do I have low self-esteem or low connection to my self-worth? We often want, like, why do I have lower self-esteem? Why do I have low connection to self-worth? And that's because anytime we steer someone towards a part of us that's like fabricated, or I like to use the word mask, we're invalidating who we really are. Subconsciously, we're saying, okay, this part of me isn't acceptable, isn't good enough, so I need to steer them towards this made up part. If you do that once, not that big of a deal, but if you're regularly doing that, you do that 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, we're really invalidating ourselves, and then people wonder why they have low confidence or low connection or they don't know who they are, is because they're regularly steering people towards someone they're not.